All right. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I don't hear you. How you guys doing this afternoon? All right. That's my crowd. So listen up, guys. I need you guys to listen for a while. We're very, very lucky to have these two individuals, actually three individuals, here today to talk to you guys about some important subjects. All I ask from you guys is to show some respect, listen to what they gotta say, don't talk when other people are talking, and if you take something, take at least one thing away from this, because this is a great start to something that's gonna be huge. So, guys, with no further ado, we got Jose M Duran, and he's gonna share a little bit with you guys about his experiences. There's a lot of different pieces to this. So please, I want you guys to just pay extra close attention to the message you gotta say.
First guy that was going to speak was my friend, Mr. Antonio Santiago. I'm going to let him speak first, and then I'll come in after. Thank you. Mr. Antonio?
My name is Antonio Santiago. Your father on the streets has been. I'm here to share a little bit of my story so that I can try to inspire you guys to do what's right. Because I started messing up and I made wrong decisions when I was sitting where you guys are sitting today. I am a former leader of the Latin Dance Disciples from Lawrence. And gang right now is my topic, that's what I talk on, and prevention. I was born in a small city named Woburn. I came to Lawrence. I went to Lawrence at a young age, around 6 or 7. We brought up in probably the roughest streets in Lawrence, which is Park Street and Spruce Street. Good working parents, my parents gave me the world. My goal was to be a professional baseball player, and my parents made it possible for me to get that. I had my education, I had great teachers, but I started messing up, like I said, when I was sitting right there with you all today. My first mistake was I didn't practice safe sex while I was in there. So my first mistake was getting a girl pregnant. So there goes my baseball career. I kissed it goodbye. Because now I had to take care of a young, pregnant girl. And I had to go to school myself. So after school I would go and had a little part-time, I think it was at Bradley's as a matter of fact. And that's what I did. So after that, I went to a year of college after I graduated high school. But it was too much, it was overwhelming for me because I had to go to school in the morning. I was going to college in the morning. And after that, I had a second shift job. So I would go to school from 3:30 to 11:30. I was working, had no time for myself, had no time for anything. I didn't have time for a pregnant girlfriend. In those months that conspired, she actually had a miscarriage. And that's when I started going downhill. I quit college. I started working. After work, I started hanging on the block. Never drank, never smoked weed, didn't smoke cigarettes, nothing. That's what I started doing. Started smoking weed. I started drinking every day. The guys that were my friends, I started hanging with the wrong crowd. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and blame them for what I did. Because at the end of the day, it was my decision to do what I did. So I started hustling with them. Because that's what we did. We drank, we smoked, and we hustled on the block. So I quit my job. And I started hustling on the block, making money. Soon after that, the older guys from the block, they started the Latin Dance Disciples. So since we're always together, what was there to lose? That's what I thought. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys heard the whole cliche. If I wouldn't know now what I knew then I wouldn't be here right now talking to you guys. But I changed. I was out of character. I was never a troublemaker. I joined the gang. I started getting myself into trouble, and I was never, like I said, I was never a troublemaker. I was ready to go for peace. One thing led to another, so now we started hustling. I'm in the gang. I get stabbed at a party by guys that we thought were our friends. So that started a war between the north side of Lawrence and the south side of Lawrence. And that's when we started gangbanging hard. In the midst of all that, we got arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. 14 of us went down. And you know who brought us down? One of our brothers. He set us up. He wore wires on us. And he told the Fed what we were doing. Back then, would I want to put a bullet in him? Maybe, because of what he did. Now, I figure, you know what? Every Jesus needs a Judas. Because if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be dead or I'd be doing life in jail. As I said earlier, I was never a troublemaker, so I didn't have a record. But the Fed gave me 11 years. I sat in that cell, and I'll be honest with you guys, they put us in a hole, and I cried. There's this big gangster. You can go shoot somebody and do whatever, hustle around the block, and you think you're all mad. But here's this gangster crying in the cell, because he just got 11 years away from his family. I destroyed my family. My father went into alcoholism. My mother went into depression. My brother was running the streets, renegade, because their older brother decided to be a knucklehead. And instead of me being a positive role model to them, I did the complete opposite. They sent me to Pennsylvania, where I only see my mother 2 times in the year. She used to go see me every 6 months, because she had to take time out from her job. It put a toll on her. Like I said, you know, she got depressed. And what I did was when I was in there, I promised that I would do what's right when I came home. And I still to this day have the newspaper article that when I got arrested, I spoke to Mrs. Nancy Duran. Because before you get arrested, before you get sentenced, the Fed asked me, like the judge would ask you, do you have something to say? And I said, yes, I do, Your Honor. The first thing I want to say is I want to apologize to my mother, my father, and to my family and friends, because I didn't mean to do this with you guys. But I do have a problem with law enforcement back there high-fiving each other like this is a game. Because if you guys consider us the most dangerous gang in Massachusetts, what were you guys waiting for? For us to kill somebody? To take somebody's son? Or daughter? Or kid? Because bullets don't have names. And once you start shooting, there's nothing that's going to stop that bullet. Unless it's you. Another thing that I got from him was like, you guys are shooting each other over colors, over values and beliefs, which in all reality, they're all the same thing. They just worded differently. That's all it is. I went to jail, and our biggest gang, our biggest rivals, the Latin Kings and all the rest of them, they actually were friends. They were actually cool with me. So I'm sitting there like, man, I was an idiot. I'm ignorant. I just threw away 10 years of my life because I wanted to be Mr. Gangster with the black and blue. And what did I get from it? Nothing. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys today. Trust me, fellas. There is nothing that you can get positive out of being in a gang. And even women now too, because now women want to start joining gangs. But there is nothing positive. The only one thing that I learned from being in a gang that has stuck with me is called the 5 P's, which is proper preparation prevents poor performance. And if you interpret it, if If you practice what you gotta do, well then you know what, you'll perform to the highest of your ability because you practice for it. And that's what you guys are here for today. These right here, when you guys realize it, these are gonna be the toughest times in your life. Whether you realize it or not. Because it's gonna determine who you're gonna be in the future. Remember, once you turn 18, mom's gonna kick you out of the house, you're gonna have to do it on your own. So if you get yourself an education, if you guys play sports, you know, get yourself a trade. Remember that the devil's always lurking. And if you're not doing anything with your mind, what do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna try to get you guys. And I talk to you guys from the bottom of my heart because I lived it and I know what it is. Today, I live comfortable. You know, I take time out from my job, and that's another thing. I work in construction. And when this past winter was terrible, and I was working outside, and the first thing that came to mind was if I would have stayed in school out in the office nice and warm, having a secretary bring me coffee. You know what I mean? Don't take life for granted, guys. There's so many opportunities for you guys. Don't just, there's a plan A, there's a plan B, there's a plan C, but there's a lot of more letters in the alphabet. So if one doesn't work for you, you guys can keep working towards what does work for you. I read somewhere, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you have a goal in mind, but you're not trying to practice what you want to do, then you know what? You're just wishing on a prayer. That's all you're doing. We're here to motivate you guys. We're here to inspire you guys. Whatever we tell you guys, do not idolize or don't, you know, like I said, we're here to encourage you guys to do better because we messed up our lives. So if you have a goal in mind, but you're not trying to practice what you want to do, then you know what? You're just wishing on a prayer. That's all you're doing. We're here to motivate you guys. We're here to inspire you guys. Whatever we tell you guys, do not idolize or don't, you know, like I said, we're here to encourage you guys to do better because we messed up our lives. I'm going to tell you a quick story about this guy. He was a guru. This guru, there was this guy that he met him at a party. And he seen the guru, and the guru had a lot of money. And he's like, hey, you're the guru, right? He said, yeah. He said, man, I want to have money like you. I want to be just like you, have everything. He said, oh, do you? All right, meet me at the beach at 4:30 in the morning. So the guy met him at the beach at 4:30 in the morning. Goes out to the beach. He said, well, what do you want me to do, Mr. Guru? He said, jump in the water. All right. I want money. Jumped in the water. Is this good? Nah, keep going. Whatever, because I want money. He keeps going. Keep going. Until he's chin deep in the water. So now the guru goes up into the water and grabs him by the head and puts his head under. When he puts his head under, the guy's like, you know, he's trying to breathe or whatever. So then the guru let him go, and he goes, what was the first thing on your mind? And he said, I was just trying to breathe. He said, when you want to be successful, as much as you want to breathe, you will achieve anything in life. That's my time, guys.
Yeah, so when I sing, cause we don't want the dramas tonight. We out to tell us on the show. And every day I'm on dreaming. Pray we escaping demons. Go to be reaching heaven in 97. Now, rhyme for a reason. Call from the jail cells, made me not wanna beat them. Can't seem to feed them.
How y'all doing? Jose M Duran, homecoming drug addict, ex-drug dealer, ex-felon, all the negative stuff you don't want to do. I first got involved with the drug game when I was about 12, 13. something my father dropped. And my friends and I decided to try it out. And believe it or not, we didn't know where to start or what to do. And a 9-year-old told us how to do it because he only saw his father use it. You know? So we went to the basement and we tried it. And I'll never forget the feeling. It numbed my nose. I felt very weird, numb. My little brother was like, wow. He was like, he didn't know what to feel. I believe he said he felt good. It was about 6, 7 of us. And I couldn't believe that we were actually doing what they say in school is drugs. I'll never forget that because it was the first time, and second of all, that was the beginning of my downfall. I didn't do any drugs again until I was about 15. I smoked a little bit of weed. About 17, I went into cocaine again. Did cocaine about 21 years of age. Well, I continued doing it, but the next drug was I started experimenting with heroin. When I did too much coke, it would raise my heartbeat. It would put me in a panic mode, paranoia. I was just feeling miserable, but for some reason I continued to do it, because that's what drug addicts do. I went on into using heroin because of the fact that, or the saying was, it would mellow you down. I never got addicted to the heroin because I was scared of it, so I would like try it, go, I won't do it again for another week or two. If they say 2 days straight, you will become addicted. It will take your life away. I respect heroin. I respect every drug because, again, it all comes down to, I ruined my life. You know? It took time away from my parents, took time away from being a parent, took time away from my entire family. Addiction was the worst thing that I got myself involved into. I should say in school. Just so many years I've thrown away. 15 years down the drain. Why? I thought I was the man in school. I didn't respect my elders. I didn't respect the teachers. I thought that with my nice smile and a little jokes here and there, I could bypass just enough to slide on through school to get away with things. I hung around with the wrong crowd, unhealthy contracts. That's hanging around the people who are doing the negative things, feeding into what they're involved into. I started hanging out in hot zones. Those are hot areas. You guys know what a hot area is when I break it down. Maybe a friend's house where they smoke weed, friend's house where they drink alcohol. You know that's the wrong place for you to go. You know, after school maybe, on the weekend, just places that you go to and you know is not healthy for you. Because you know nothing good comes out of that place. You know, hanging around with the wrong crowds and the hot rooms. I did all that. I did that for many years. And I thought it was okay because I got away with so much. I got involved in drug dealing when I was about 15. So like I said, from 15 to 17, I didn't do the drugs again until I was 17. But I was selling drugs the whole time. I was getting into my drug use at first. I started selling drugs when I was 15. And I thought I was a man. In school, I had a car, I dressed nice. I thought I could impress people. I love the feeling of fitting in, getting invited to all these hot zones, hanging around with unhealthy contracts because it was okay, you know. And I look at it today, 40 years old, 15 years in prison. Wow, I threw my life away, man. I really I did some soul searching. I did some inner soul searching. And I gave it a lot of thought on what it is that I gave value to that really meant nothing. When all along my family, while I did 15 years in prison, was always there for you. And my friends, look to your left, look to your right. You live in that life. When it gets ugly and you get caught up in some big trouble, trust me, they're not going to be there for you. You know? It's different. It's written. I mean, do you want to waste your time? Or do you want to get yourself an education? Do something with your life? You know? Prison is not the place. I was scared. No lie, Mr. Santiago was with me for 2.5 years. We had to look over his shoulder at all times. He was in federal prison. He had to watch my back, I watch his back. That's scary. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be home celebrating birthdays, holidays, spending time with the kids, you know? Just totally threw my life away. Education is key. I was in there, I got my GED in prison. Think I want to be in there capping down with a bunch of inmates? That wasn't cool. I didn't even want to take the picture. I looked like a fool. In prison? GED in prison. I wish I got my diploma out on the street. And you know, I see a lot of friends that I come on now at 40. I see some attorneys, some real estate guys. I saw a doctor. I see a lot of cops that I went to school with. They didn't throw their lives away. They took advantage of the fact that there's an education out there. You know? I advise you to really look in the mirror and think about what it is you want to do with your life. You're smoking weed, you're drinking, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, you're hanging out in hot zones knowing that that's a bad place for you to be. Think about it. Do not throw your life away. I threw my life away. I survived. Listen to this. I was serving a 22-year sentence, 22 and a half. I won an appeal. It took 3 years. They left me at 19 years and 5 months. I said, they took 3 years. I'll try again. I did. I tried again. I won. They dropped it down to 12 years. By now, I have 3.5 years left to do. I said, you know what? Game's over. I retired. My friends laughed at me. Because I was still in there hustling. I was selling cigarettes. You know, you ain't supposed to have cigarettes. I was stealing from the kitchen to survive, to eat, to feed my friends whenever we was going to have little cookouts. You know, I was getting high there when it was around. You know, it's in there. You know, I wasted all that time. And I got blessed. Somehow God blessed me and gave me the opportunity to come home to my family while my mom, my dad, still alive. I can eat my favorite dish from my mom. Wow. 2025, 24, mom wasn't going to be there. Dad wasn't going to be there. My kids would have been grown, living their own lives. My brothers and sisters, they would have been probably living at one of their kids' house or retired somewhere. And here I come out of prison, full of tattoos maybe. Nobody wants to deal with me. I'm institutionalized. But I got the opportunity to come home early, and this is my goal right here. To reach you guys, reach the kids. You know, advise you not to throw your life away. This is serious. Many times in prison, I was scared for my life. Many times, we were scared for our lives. It's serious, it's real. Don't think about military where you heard your uncle, your cousin, went in there, he's hanging out with his friends. Hey, so-and-so's with so-and-so. Hey, my uncle's with your uncle. Hey, my dad is in there with your brother. You know? That ain't cool. Then they come out as gang members. They say they're gang members. You know? And they come out and they want to be bigger or supposedly bigger drug dealers. I did that. When I did 5 years first. I got out, my goal was to become a bigger and a better drug dealer. I succeeded. 3 years later, I got caught by the big dogs. By the feds. They hit me with 22 and a half. That'll hold me. I would have been out of that 50, and again, who's to say my mom and dad was going to be around? Who's to say my kids would have cared for me? What did I do for my kids? I was a bad parent. I was the because I got money, I got cars, and I can do things and make things happen, I thought, or it was my belief, that on my kids' birthdays, I go in, I give them a hug, kiss, put a couple $100 in their pockets, and I walk out, I was a good father. Negative. You know? My goal today is to reach out to you guys and tell you all the negatives of what you think is cool. If you think it's cool, and you want to throw your life away, and you want to sit in a cell, and every time you're by yourself, and you spend about 2 hours by yourself, looking at these walls, no one to talk to, crying, feeling the pain, knowing it's your mom's birthday, your dad, your brother, someone passed away, you couldn't go to the funeral to pay your respects, you know? Those are the things we go through in there. You know? The last thing I wanted to get was a letter saying, oh wait, 2 or 3 weeks later, saying, hey, mom passed away, dad passed away. Can you imagine that? I saw plenty of that. I saw a lot of that. You know, and then they call home, already buried. You can't go to the funeral, you can't go to the wake, because you're in jail. You're paying for the punishment that you committed. You know, the crime you committed. It's just not worth it. If you're here today in school, this is where you belong. And then you go on to the next step, college. Then you go on to the next step, which is your future. Lunchtime, 4 or 5 people. I buy them lunch because I don't want them to talk good about me. I got a brush from them. You know, it's a brag point. You know what? They weren't important. I wasted my time even trying to impress them. You know? I had cousins in school with me that I didn't hang out with because they were doing the right thing. I thought they were lames. You know what? Today, a lot of them own their own houses. They're paying their mortgages. They got a job. In a couple of years from now, they'll be retired. You know? And me, I got out of prison. Today, I can say I have a job. For the first time in my life, at 40 years old, I pay taxes. I'm working on being a father. It's tough. I come out, my kids are grown. And here I am telling them, I love you. They say they love me. They feel it. They know I love them. But look how late in the game I come to tell them I love them and really mean it and show them. You know, it's never too late. But sometimes I feel they doubt me when I say it. You know? So when they see that I'm doing this today, they say, Dad, wow, you mean it. You really mean it. I do mean it. You know? Because you guys are the future. You know? Who's to say someone from right here can't be a doctor, a teacher, someone in a professional field? Last thing I want to hear is, hey, 10 years from now, hey, you remember me? I was at the Haverhill High School. I might not remember you, but I was there. Yes, what's up? Yeah, I was there. Oh, so what did you do with your life? Good drug addict, I'm looking for help, trying to get to a program. I don't want to see that. I'd rather you tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, look, I'm a prosecutor. I'm a lawyer. Something professional. Do not waste your time. I did that. I'm telling you, it got me nowhere far. Today, I'm at the happiest stage of my life. I work. I have a good girlfriend, my good stepkids, my kids, they understand what it is that I'm trying to do, or looking to do with myself. I'm showing them love, I'm giving them the attention they need, you know? I couldn't do that in my days of selling drugs, being out on the streets, ripping and running, using drugs. When I told them I loved them, that was just saying, I was saying so. There was no way of me showing that I meant it. Because if I did, I wouldn't be doing drugs. I wouldn't be selling drugs. You know? Today, what is it I do to help myself and continue on in the right path? I go to counseling, therapy. At the T.E.A.M, I work on myself. I go to NA meetings. I help a team of friends who are in the same field. They work on helping addicts, helping people that need shelter, I'm on the right track today, and I feel good about myself, I no longer, feel like I used to in the past when there's a family gathering and I'm high on drugs and I'm isolating myself and I go in and give them a hug, boom, boom, and I leave and then I go outside and I say, man, everybody was looking at me. I think they noticed. They know. They won't tell you until, they get tired of it, but they know. Isolation, man. Only between you and your friends or whoever it is that's there behind with you or drinking or doing whatever type of criminal activity, only they will support you. When you get caught, they're going to put you out there. They're not your friends. It's just not worth it. When I was in 8th grade, I'll never forget this. I couldn't go to Canopy Lake. I couldn't go to the prom, the banquet. I don't even know which was which, or it doesn't say because I never got to enjoy it. So I didn't care for it. Why? I was a big, bad, tough guy. Bully. I guess they passed me because they wanted to get rid of me, throw me off into high school. No lie. I believe that's what happened. Because the only trip I got out of 8th grade, guess where I went to? Walpole. And when I went to Walpole, in the 8th grade, I was 14 years old. I went to a Scared Straight. You guys know what Scared Straight? I'm going to tell you right now, I thought it was funny then. This guy's giving us a little lecture, and here I am with, again, my getaway with a smile, my little smirk. I thought everything was funny. You can't hurt me. I got friends. So he's giving me this lecture and stuff. He's giving all of us, but he sees me smirking, and he says to me, you think you're funny? But I gave him a little smirk. He looks dead at me and he says, oh, I see you in about 10 years. I give him a little smirk again. Right. He says, yeah, I'll have a pillow waiting for you so I can make a dress out of it, and out of Kool-Aid, I'll use it for lipstick on it. It's funny, right? Serious, it happens. So, I had a little smirk on my face again. Like, yeah, right, you can't touch me. He gets a little closer. I noticed he was cockeyed. So now I laugh. I thought it was really funny. So he got real upset because he couldn't get to me. Because I thought in my mind, the officers are there, my teachers are here, they ain't gonna touch me. I was guaranteed they weren't gonna touch me. So he said it again. He said, I'll see you in 10 years. You gotta say, he sat in the chair, and he was all cockeyed, and I laughed some more. Because I thought it was funny. Guess what? That was 1988. 1998, I'm serving. I went in 1997. 1998, I'm in Shirley Supermax. I see this guy in the hallway. I'm gonna make a long story short. I seen him a few times, but something kept telling me I know this guy. I couldn't place him. Then I found out he's doing life. I still couldn't place him. About a week or so later, I heard his name. I still couldn't place him. To where I know this guy from. So one day, I'm laying in my bed and I'm thinking, where do I know this guy? I know him. Finally, I went to chow. That's lunch, dinner, breakfast. They call it chow in there. And we stood face to face. He was in front of me, and I saw him cockeyed. He says, Louis, that's him. Took about a couple days to get it inside of me to approach him someday. I did. When I brought it to his attention, I said, hey, you ever did a Scared Straight in Walpole? He says, yeah. He says, one time only. I says, I looked at him, he looked at me, he says, this kid one time. He looks at me and I look at him. Is that you? Yeah. says, what years was that? He says, 88. He says, wow, 1998. He called it, and he remembered as he looked at me and I asked him if he ever did scared straight. He remembered. I didn't have to remind him, so he knew what I was talking about. I got the goosebumps now just thinking about it, because that's some serious stuff there. He called it, he jinxed me. But if I was a good kid, I wouldn't be in Walpole to see him to call it a jinx. It's reality. If you do the things you know you're not supposed to do, what you don't want to happen to you is going to happen to you. Prison, death, addiction. You guys are right now in the right place. I will repeat that. School. You know, the little boyfriend, the little girlfriend, that's the way it's about doing this senior year. Why now? Why so soon? Not freshman, sophomore. You don't even got your head straight yet. You know? Yeah, I see a little smirks. You know? I did that too. But you know what? That's where I lost focus of my life. Because I wanted to be the man. I wanted to shine, outshine everybody else. You know, let me ask you a question. How many of you remember when you was younger, at your family or your legal guardian asked what you want to be when you grow up? Anyone of you remember? Hands? What you wanted to be? A mechanic? Construction worker? Anyone else?
I think I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger.
A doctor?
Firefighter.
Firefighter? One more.
I wanted to make costumes. I wanted to make costumes.
You want to make costumes? Well, you're not far from making that happen. You're still in the right place. School, start from there. Shoot for a degree in that field. You know, me, when I was that kid, guess what I told my mom? I want to be a cop. You know why I told my mom that? Because it was my way of covering my tracks for whatever it is that I was doing. Because I was already in the game from like 13, I say. You know, 15 when I was active in it, I was actually selling drugs. You know, and the only reason why I say that is because you can't achieve what it is you want it to be. You can still make that happen. You still be even above that. You know? Today, my focus is on letting you know that there's a better way. You do not have to, you know, make your friends happy with the fact that you're joining in on them. No, you can walk away. It's not hard. You know, you can't respect the elders. You know, there's a lot of disrespect nowadays. You know, teens. I see it all the time. But I ain't gonna stop and say, hey kid, man, you should respect, you know, the older than me. No, because I was just like that. But I can't save everyone. You know, you give me the time and your attention, I can work on it and share my story. My friend can share his story. Do you wanna, you know, I got all these lectures that I'm giving you today. In one ear and out the other. So I understand what you guys, you know, for those that are listening, those that ain't listening. You know, my goal is that if I can get one of you guys to listen, I'm gonna have a campus. If I can get one of you guys 5, 10 years from now to say, hey, I was there at the Haverhill High School when you went up there and did that presentation. I thank you. I heard. I listened. You know? Living that life I lived was tough, man. I was scared every day. If it wasn't drugs, it was guns. If it wasn't that, I was hanging around with people who had drugs or guns. If not, it was around people in stolen cars. I was always scared. Then I didn't realize it, but as I got older, that's what it was. I was scared because it was a rush, but I was always scared of the police coming around and catching us. You don't want to live that life. You don't want to live like that. It's a waste of time. Trust me. You know, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I pray that, you know, my myself, and Mr. Santiago got some of y'all attention, you know, this is serious. You know? I used to laugh and joke when I used to be sitting right where you guys are today. Everything was funny. You know? It's serious. I've been through it. You know? Them jail cells is no joke. There's a lot of guys doing life that don't care to kill you if you piss them off. It's just not worth it. Do not throw your life away. Educate yourself. You know? Like I said, here in Haverhill, I go to T.E.A.M. I do my therapy sessions there. You know, you guys are from Haverhill. If you need some cards, I have some cards. You know, you just seek counseling there. They do substance abuse therapy, anger management, early recovery group, continuing recovery group, criminal offenders, minors in possession group, early morning recovery group. They have a lot of options. They have a lot of money for everything. Just to give you a little idea. It's there. The help is there if you want it.
Never tired of fighting.
Nobody gave me the sound, I found this thing on my own. Now that they see me styling, I'm something they wanna clone. Police like your T.E.A.M running up in your phone. We living good in the hood, dog, and that's something they finding wrong. Should I protect my life with a knife or a firearm? Cause schemers, they wanna scheme. If you're lean, then you be gone. My people stand strong, some of my man's gone. Sorry I missed your funeral, that was a sad song. Nobody told me.
Since you released from prison, what was or is the hardest thing you had to adapt to?
I think my roughest part, I would say, is just to acclimate with society again. Because when we went in, we were still using beepers. So when I came home, social media's out, computers, like, you know, that was one of the main things. And then just going to get my license again and doing everything. It just, my jail time just set us back. After my 10 years, it set me back 10 years. So as far as like the computer age came out and all that, that's mainly what helped me out.
For me, it was adapting to living life different. Now working hard for a living. Just living within my means was the hardest thing for me. You know, before when I wanted to buy something, if I saw a car, I bought the car. If I said I wanted to go to the mall and buy a pair of sneakers, I come out with 4 or 5 and then I'll call a girlfriend. I'll buy my kids some sneakers and I'll come out with about 10 pairs. Because I can do that. I had money. Today, working hard for a living, I respect hard-earned working money. I respect people who work for a living. You know, before, like I said, I had a lot of cousins who they lived life on the right track. I thought they were lame. Today, I understand that life. So for me, it was adapting to living life within my means. You know, working hard for my money.
You got another question?
What was your turning point?
My turning point was just living in a cell, sitting in prison and have someone always tell you what to do, when to lock in, when you're free to do a little something, when to go to chow, you know, just missing my family every day. Missing my family, missing my kids, you know, just the feel of having the privileges of driving a vehicle, you know, motorcycles, those things. I miss that. So I'm taking advantage of, you know, living in the free world and avoiding the fact of getting caught up back in that lifestyle.
For me, my turning point was the first time I seen my father in 10 years. My father never visited me when I got locked up. Because he had heart conditions. And for him, it would kill him to go see me locked up. So the first time when I saw him, when I got off, my mother actually went and my uncle, they went to go get me. And the first time I saw him, it broke my heart because it was like, he withered on me. This guy was so full of life. You know, he was like, I was like his prodigal child. Like, he was so proud of me. He would never miss any of my games. Like, he would always talk so good about me. You know, he bragged about me. And when I came home and I seen him wither away, I'm like, that was my turning point. Like, I was like, I have to do something. I can't keep killing my parents like this. So I would say my father. May he rest in peace because he just died actually.